Hello and welcome to Experiencing Love. I'm your host, Philip Jackson. I'm so glad that you're here. One thing that I think that's really cool about you is your ability to be resourceful. And I am talking specifically about you. I know that resourcefulness is a skill that anyone can possess, can learn, can grow. And I know that there's been many times in your life that you've been resourceful. I love the idea of resourcefulness because it truly is such a powerful skill in getting out of any single problem or situation you may have. The power of resourcefulness is that you don't have to do what everybody else does. You don't have to find the one right answer, because when you're resourceful, you're creative. You're able to find what everybody else is missing. When it seems like there is no solution, you find a solution. I think that's awesome. A lot of people have this skill and don't think that they do. A lot of people think that people are just born with it, or it's like a talent that they can never attain. In my opinion, I believe that talent and skill really just make a difference at the very top 0.001% of people. By that I mean, yeah, some people may be talented at a certain skill, right? They just are better at it, they learned it earlier, whatever it is. But I truly believe that for most things, you can train, you can practice, and you can learn to become really great. When it comes to resourcefulness, it doesn't matter if someone is better at it than you. What matters is that you can build that up. There are a lot of examples of these little things that truly only make a difference when you're at that exceptional level, when you're at the top. I remember hearing about a swimming coach telling about his swimmers how at the beginning level, they don't need to worry about shaving their entire body. They don't need to worry about shaving their entire body because at that stage, they haven't mastered the technique of swimming. They haven't mastered building up their body in order to swim faster, to swim stronger. So rather than worry about shaving every single hair off your body, worry about getting good at swimming. That will increase your time much more than anything else. But then when you get to the peak level of performance, when you get someone, a swimmer, who is at the top of their game, their technique is as good as it could be, maybe minor improvements that'll shave a tenth of a second, if that. At that point, actually shaving your body will make a difference. Your body will glide faster in the water because you're already strong enough, you're already skilled enough. And now there are these little things you can adjust. That goes for a lot of things. And right now I'm really just thinking about this idea that whether or not you see it, you have been resourceful in your life and you could continue being more and more resourceful. This comes to mind because right now I have a predicament. I have a problem right in front of me. There's this activity that I don't want to do really, but I've already committed to doing it and it's happening very soon. And so I have a few options. I could just go and suck it up. I could bail and let down the people that I made the plans with. I didn't like either of those options because either one is pretty much going to hurt someone. It's either going to hurt myself or it's going to hurt them. And I chose resourcefulness to try to find a way that I can make it work for everyone. And people may say that's wishful thinking, and sometimes it may seem that way. But you'll never know if it's wishful thinking until you've thought about it, until you try to look for the answer. Because it's in those moments when someone finds that third option where everybody calls them a genius, where everybody calls them powerful, calls them smart, calls them all these different names, when in fact, they were just willing to try to find another option. So the one I came up with so far was that, you know what, I could go to this event, but I can make sure that I do something for myself after. I could do something for myself even before. My idea right now is, after this event, I'm going to come back, or maybe on the way back, I'll go rock climbing or something. I love to rock climb and I'm really in the mood to do it, so why not? I'm already going to be out of the house, and in that way, I could kind of kill two birds with one stone, right? I get to go see my friends, I get to go hang out with them, and at whatever point that I want to leave and go do my own thing, I can. I could just step out and say, alright guys, I'm going to go climb it. Because it's better than not showing up at all. I know you have something going on in your life right now that kind of sucks. I know you have some problem that seems like there's no good solution. And maybe it just seems that way for right now until you find that sneaky little option that minimizes all the things that suck. I once learned this method of making decisions, right? And when it comes to making decisions, this always felt like peak resourcefulness. So it briefly goes like this. You figure out, what is it that everybody wants? What is it that you want? What is it that anybody involved wants? Then you list all the options, right? You list every single choice you have now that seems obvious. Next, you go through all the options you have. Maybe you have 5, 6, or 7, and you start listing the consequences of each. What are the pros and cons, pretty much? What do you get out of one, and what do you lose out of that same one? And you do that for every single option you have. Then you eliminate whatever options are absolute no-goes. You say, nope, this will not work. This will not be good. This will hurt everybody involved, so that's not an option. When you do that elimination process, you'll pretty much be left with 1 or 2 of like the best options of what you have. And now is the fun part, is when you start evaluating the options that you had. You start saying, okay, this is the best one I have so far. What parts can I take of the other options? What sections, what little consequences do I want to implement to this one to mitigate as many negative consequences as possible, right? Oftentimes, it'll be very hard to mitigate all of them, but you could get it down to very few, right? You may be getting it down to actually a few negative consequences on yourself that you are more than willing to accommodate if it actually meets more of the goals of everybody involved, including your own. And then the last step is quite simple. At that point, you are left with one good option pretty much. Like, you've put them all together to mitigate the most negative consequences, and it's time to resolve. It's time to just put it into action. It's time to just do it. When you reach that point, after going through that process, you may think that, okay, maybe if I wait a little bit longer, something better will pop up, or something I missed will pop up. And maybe that's true, but you may miss your opportunity if you don't act now. Honestly, I believe that really successful people are the ones that are able to make decisions fast and learn from them so they can make the next set of decisions faster. A lot of people lose out in life because they wait. I know that one from experience. Anytime I've waited for excessive periods of time, I missed out more than I gained from waiting for that slightly better option, right? And it may be that a better option does come around, or like a better idea comes around, but you can't even execute it because it's too late. Because, oh, you can't reach out to this person in time, or you can't call that place in time because they've already closed, whatever. The point is, following this framework, following roughly these steps, helps you be a lot more resourceful than you'd imagine. It's one way to build resourcefulness. Sometimes resourcefulness is really just asking a different question. Ask a different question to get a different answer. And when you get a different answer, you'll take different actions. The quality of your questions is in direct proportion to the quality of your life. I've always loved that quote because then it helps me actually question the questions I'm asking, right? Rather than being on autopilot and letting my thoughts run rampant, I can ask myself, like, okay, is that question serving me? Am I getting an answer that serves me? If I'm not, it's time to ask a different question. It's either time to go in a different direction, time to go deeper. There's so many different ways. What I admire about you is that you have innate resourcefulness inside of you. You have the ability to think of something different, something that works for not just you, but the people around you as well. You wouldn't be here if you didn't have that. Honest to God, I believe that. You're here, and I thank you for it. I thank you for wanting better for yourself. I thank you for searching for a greater quality of life. I hope on your journey you do find it. You find the questions to ask to give yourself that quality of life. And as you get there, along the way, I'll celebrate with you. So I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Have fun. Be resourceful. And when you get the chance, just remember to fill up with the love. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.